to The Kurt Locker, a podcast where we chronologically step through and discuss each film starring Kurt Russell. My name is Andrew Gormley, and I am one of your hosts. I am joined on this episode by my co-hosts. We're both people who truly understand the importance of making dramatic statements to the world. Lindsey Nelson joins us.
Truer words were never spoken. I love a dramatic statement.
I agree. I say it all the time. There are certain quotes that come out in movies. I'm like, got it. That's the one for Lindsey. That's the one for Whitney. And here's the one for Erich. Who's this? 007? Erich Hall joins us again.
Hey, there is a 007 reference in this movie. Nice.
I was like, there it is. That's the one. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. I haven't quite pieced this thought together entirely yet, but I'm wondering about the quality of a movie versus how many quotes I can pull from it. You know, I have to do a little bit more research on this, but this movie has a lot. There were easily 16 or 17 other ones I could have used to introduce everybody. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what that says about the movie either, though. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little later.
Okay.
Let's do some contact info, housekeeping, all that good stuff. I want to mention you can find this and everything else we do at 12and24.com. We also have a merch store, shirts, stickers, coffee mugs, all that stuff. I ordered a coffee mug for the Kurt Locker, and it's hilarious. There is a caliber of quality that comes when you set up a store and they just kind of pre-print these things. Mm-hmm. And I would say that this store is just half a notch above your generic ass store. It's not TeePublic. It's just it's a little bit higher quality than I even imagined. So I know that's not a glowing endorsement.
I was going to say, wow, Andrew.
Listen,
really?
I'm just being real with you. Here's what I will say, though.
Shit, it's just slightly better than TeePublic.
That's it. Well, no, here's what I will say, though. The shirts are incredible. The shirts are actually, that's if you're going to buy anything, you could do that. I know some people are all about the stickers and stuff like that, and those are sufficient. But the shirts are real good. Very soft,
shirts
very good shirts.
Shirts are so comfy. Yeah.
So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm not trying to bilk anybody out of their money. The mug is okay. The mug is okay.
And which mug did you buy from your own store?
It was the Kurt Locker one. I got our logo, the Kurtz,
logo. Okay.
Yeah, the 3 Kurtz on there. I don't know how many times it will survive getting through the dishwasher is my issue. Mm-hmm. It seems like just a few times through, and we might be dancing on the razor's edge already here. I don't know. I don't know. But the shirts, again, super good shirts. You can email us directly at kurtlockerpod@gmail.com. I don't use Twitter anymore, really, so don't bother on there. But I highly recommend everybody join the Discord, 12and24.com/Discord. I'm on there all the time. So are my co-hosts. It's awesome.
It's true.
That we were talking about.
Oh,
we were talking about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Finally, if you want to support us with just a moment of your time, please share the show with your friends. You can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and maybe Amazon lets you do that now. We have a newish review, but I don't think I caught it on our last episode. Did I read this on the last one? Maybe I did. Maybe Jay Fizzle gets 2 shout-outs. Either way, rate and review the show, and you may get read twice. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
We appreciate you listening and hoping that we come back. We hope we will come back. Whitney is still in the void. We don't know.
Whitney's in the void. Yeah, we could just lay out lay out this show. Whitney's in the void. Charles is on voidcation, I think is what we're going to call it for right now.
Sure.
Where in the void is Charles? We don't know. We don't know.
But we have found signs of Whitney's campfires and some pictographs that she's left in the void. So we know she's out there, but we just haven't found her yet.
This leads us to believe she has at least watched Stargate recently. So with all the pictographs and whatnot. So this is a good sign.
She's keeping up on the watch list at least.
We'll get the final organized rankings from her at some point very soon. Erich, do you want to tell us what we're here talking about today?
Yeah, today we are talking about the film Executive Decision from 1996.
Excuse me, sir. May I help you? Sir?
In an age
Excuse me, sir. May I help you?
when terrorism knows no boundaries and the level of threat
I have a message for the American president.
knows no limits.
I am in control of Flight 343. Well, sir, I don't think this is about hostages.
What are you talking about?
A shipment of the nerve toxin DZ5 was hijacked.
Are you saying nerve gas is on board?
Yes, sir, I am. They plan to use the DZ5 and the airplane together to detonate here, over Washington.
When global response is routine,
London is demanding immediate action.
There's a hatch on the belly of the 747 near the nose. We could dock there.
I know you're...
The plot synopsis from IMDb is that when terrorists seize control of an airliner, an intelligence analyst accompanies a commando unit for a mid-air boarding operation. The movie was written by brothers Jim and John Thomas and directed by Stuart Baird, who followed up this film with U.S. Marshals and Star Trek Nemesis. He'd say he's a pretty middle-of-the-road director across the board.
Listen, U.S. Marshals is awesome. I like that movie a lot.
Not because of the direction.
Well, no. No,
Star
it's
Trek
Tommy Lee
Nemesis
Jones.
is adequate.
Co-starring alongside Kurt is an absurd cast. So we're going to name Halle Berry, Steven Seagal, John Leguizamo, Oliver Platt, Joe Morton, B.D. Wong, Mary Ellen Trainor, and J.T. Walsh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's huge to start with. But the rest of the cast is every single character actor that was working in 1996. Like,
Yes. Everybody in this movie is I know that guy.
yeah, like the scene in the Pentagon, like every single general or cabinet member is some guy that you know from like a TV show or something. Let's go to the critics and audience reception. So this movie has a 63% from critics and a 53% from the audience. I think I know why. I think the critics are right. But I think this movie was poorly sold. We can get into it later.
Okay.
Roger Ebert gave the film 3 out of 4 stars in 96. Called it a movie for people who are sophisticated enough to know how shameless the film is, but fun-loving enough to enjoy its excesses and manic zeal.
Okay.
Mick LaSalle at the San Francisco Chronicle felt differently with 1 out of 4 stars. Stuart Baird's direction is so sluggish, and Jim and John Thomas's script so padded that Executive Decision has no build. Instead of focusing on the mechanics of suspense, the film concentrates to a boyish extent on mechanics, period. I'm somewhere in between, but I don't think LaSalle's wrong.
I don't think LaSalle's wrong either.
Right. User Scani gave it 3 out of 5 stars, said it's a wild, shaggy ride, but this one gets it done. Pretty ridiculous. Great ensemble, great suspense, earns the W on pure hustle.
I would not say this movie hustles, but that's just
I would
me.
not say this movie hustles.
No.
either.
The hustle, I guess. All right, yeah. I mean, sure. Okay.
Yes. Nope. Strong disagree on hustle.
Uh-huh.
And then, as always, we hear from Claire's mom, who says, we could have cut an hour out of that and made it all happen faster. In all honesty, it was boring, except when they were doing something, which was not most of the time. But again, he has really great dimples. I'm assuming we're talking about Kurt.
Sure.
We predicted every single twist and turn and all the lines, including the salute.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah. Claire's mom.
Uh-huh.
Holding it down. It is funny that I want to verify just one thing about this film because I think it would be really, really funny. Yeah. If Claire's mom had her way, this movie would be 1 hour and 13 minutes long, which might actually be like a really good movie.
I think Claire's mom has a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, 1 hour off. I'm all for, let's get 30 minutes off this thing. But Claire's mom wants a whole hour, all 60 shaved off, which is interesting. Lindsey, I want to hear what you think about this movie, but I want to go out on a limb and say something first.
Okay.
I want to say that this movie has the perfect amount of Steven Seagal in it. Do you agree or disagree?
Good amount of Steven Seagal, for sure. I would say him dying at what whenever anybody references this movie, if they do, they're like, oh, that's the one where Steven Seagal dies in the first 15 minutes. It's actually like 40 minutes into the movie.
Right. Yeah.
But it does seem like he dies in the first 15 minutes, but it's actually like 40 minutes into the movie. But it is about 10 minutes of total screen time, which I do think is the right amount of Steven Seagal.
Yeah. Eric, do you have any thoughts on that either? I'm curious.
I agree 100%. It was the perfect amount of Seagal.
Mm-hmm.
I do think perhaps one of the reasons this movie underperformed in theaters, however, is people saw Steven Seagal on the poster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not get to do a lot of Steven Seagal things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 100% okay with that.
Okay.
No, that's this was peak Steven Seagal stardom era. So if you saw a poster with him in an action movie and then you're like, well, he dies fit. This is like, what movie is that where people were suing because Ana de Armas was in Yesterday. Yesterday had Ana de Armas in the trailers and then barely in the movie. And there's literally a group of people suing for like false advertising.
2 of her biggest fans. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Shout out to those guys.
So I can see some of those feelings.
I 100% get that for Ana de Armas, not for Steven
Not for Steven Seagal, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little sad, but it also understandable that nobody went to bat and sued the studio for this Steven Seagal erasure. Perceived Steven Seagal erasure.
I was going to say, he's in it for, he definitely, I don't think he's very there for the part that he's there for. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, I had just thought like, oh, Steven Seagal's in this and it's the mid-90s. He's going to be in this. But and I forgot that that the whole thing falls apart. But Lindsey, tell me what you thought about this movie overall. I'm real curious.
So I think this movie I actually agree with like basically every one of the critical reviews, which had kind of a different... I think this movie's very mid. And I think this movie's very mid because this movie is like 4 movies stepped into the machine in The Fly. So,
oh no.
Like, Steven Seagal is in his own movie.
Sure.
Kurt Russell is in his own movie. Oliver Platt and, what's the name of the...
Joe Morton
are in their own movie. And Halle Berry's in her own movie. And those movies, like, cross over, but they don't really. And they all have different, like... plot arcs. Like the momentum never gets going in this movie. The suspense should be there and it's just not. Like this movie is trying to be Air Force One. This movie is trying to be Die Hard. This movie is trying to be Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger. And it's not any of those movies.
Yeah.
Like it just can't focus on anything. I agree with the take an hour out of this. I mean, he tries to land the plane twice. And that was completely unnecessary to circle around because like you didn't do it in a way that built any tension.
Yeah.
So now we're just spending time watching him land the plane twice. And this movie was full of stuff like that. Also, the planting was just like, so yes, the only reason we're seeing him taking flying lessons is at the beginning of this movie is like they didn't integrate that in any way at all. You're like, well, obviously he is going to need to fly a plane at some point in this movie.
Yeah. Those are the rules. Those are the rules.
It just felt so heavy-handed. Some people are really trying. I mean, I think Halle Berry is doing a hero's quest trying to save this movie. She's the only one I ever felt any tension for.
Disagree.
I mean, I could see that too. Like, that's fine. But like, I mean, just even the fact that you have both Oliver Platt and Joe Morgan, like. And he's the bomb diffuser guy, but he's paralyzed. Like, there's just so much redundancy for no really clear reason.
Yeah.
There's parts of this. Honestly, in some ways, this movie was better than I thought it was from just having osmosis, reputation. Yeah. In some ways, this was way more competent. I mean, the cast alone is incredible, and everybody is really trying to do their part. For the most part, except actually, I think a little bit Kurt Russell. But I think that's because Kurt Russell does not believe that nerds can have Riz. That is my conclusion this far into the podcast, because every time he's trying to play a character that's a nerd, he dampens something inside of him that just takes away all of his charisma from a very charismatic guy. Nerds can have charisma. Just watch Jurassic Park and you see 5 different kinds of nerd charisma on display at the same time.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of incredible character actors in this movie, and I think they're really trying to make their parts work, but this story has no, cohesion for me, and you never feel stakes. It's got so much going on. It's kind of Baroque in a way, but it never goes to the bombastic level of something like The Rock or Face Off, where like you're enjoying the insanity. So it just feels like a lot of doing stuff without really feeling super motivated. Even though they're trying to save like the Eastern Seaboard, that should be an easy motivation.
I agree. I mean, it is funny to hear you say that because historically, everyone go back and listen all the way back to Cool Breeze Over the Mountains if you want. Lindsey, you're a person who comes in, has very strong feelings, it runs in the family. And to hear you say, I kind of agree with all this stuff is very funny to me. Because
it's just a muddle.
Right. I also kind of agree with all of this stuff. Like, there are some cool things in this movie. All of those movies that you mentioned that this is often compared to, as I was going through like other user reviews and stuff like that to try to get them pulled, a shocking number of people compared this movie to Speed. And I was like, how dare you?
No.
How dare you?
I mean, in that is one of the many movies it's trying to be.
Sure.
It is not anywhere in the ranks of Speed, which is practically a perfect action movie.
Right. Well, that's what people were like, it's got a Die Hard / Speed feel to it. And I'm like, I get comparing Die Hard and Speed because they're the same movie. I get it.
It also wants to be those movies very badly, but it is not succeeding at being those movies.
Yeah, this does not fit into that oeuvre of film whatsoever.
I mean, I think Lindsey nailed it pretty well with like, it's Die Hard meets like Patriot Games. Like, this feels very much like they're trying to set up David as the Jack Ryan of this film,
which is
like completely like lifts things from Die Hard.
Yeah, this feels like it could like with just some tiny tweaks be there. Like it doesn't need. I don't know.
No, I mean everybody is right, and I agree with Lindsey and everyone else. Like, this movie needs to be 90 minutes.
Yes, that's number one. Number one, yes.
Tops, right? They need to like cut the Oliver Platt character completely.
Yes, it's a hard enough stretch to have Kurt Russell's character on this mission. Kurt Russell and Oliver Platt's characters would not be going on this mission.
Yeah.
Right. Like at least we established that the Seagal character hates Kurt Russell. Mm-hmm. That is in no way a reason he would be brought on this mission. Like Kurt Russell would never be brought on this mission.
Correct.
But at least from a story element, there sort of makes sense. The way they get Oliver Platt on the plane is just fucking stupid. So, like, you cut that character, you cut out, I don't know, any number of the return to the Pentagon shots. There's way too much about this release of this terrorist that, of course, is a red herring.
Yes.
Because we're making Die Hard. This movie could be cut down to a really fun suspense movie. This movie's never going to be an action movie.
No, that's it.
And I think that's the other problem with the way this was sold is they saw Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal and they were like, "Oh, there's going to be a lot of shooting." There is like,
I mean, they're in a pressurized environment in which you cannot do the wildly shooting.
So it's Seagal, so maybe there's going to be karate, right? But like
some sweet kicks, some high kicks, man.
What's his thing? His thing's Aikido, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get 7 minutes of action in a 2 hour or what does this end up clocking in at?
213.
Like
it's
33 minutes.
It hurts. Yeah. It hurts.
Yeah. So I like the film, but it needs serious editing. And to Lindsey's point, like there is nothing innovative about it, right?
Yeah.
Like there are at least 3 or 4 times in my notes where I write, because they're lampshading something, this will be important later. Like, like David learning to fly, like his introduction. We meet that guy that's really serious about his PDA in like the first 10 minutes. And like, oh, this will be important.
Yeah.
Oliver Platt's straw is given way too much screen time.
I even put that in caps. I was like, this will be important later.
The straw.
Yeah.
I don't want to make this comparison. Well, maybe I do want to make this comparison. Have either of you seen the Liam Neeson film Nonstop?
I have not seen
Okay,
Nonstop.
good.
Sorry.
Nonstop is a film that is like this film, but we spend about 3 minutes on the ground and everything else happens in the sky. And it is over in about, it's not 90, but it's very close. Let's say 100 minutes. We're done, right? I really enjoyed Nonstop, the cast, everything. I feel like that director was like, what if we made Executive Decision, but good? And it's not like it's not like all presidential and terrorist-y type stuff, but all this stuff happens on a plane in a very contained space. And it's Liam Neeson doing his Liam Neesoning, right? Also, can't use a gun. So it's a lot of action, a lot of suspense. Like, it's very tense. And this movie, the only time I don't actually feel like I ever really felt tension. Like, I was like, oh, they're going to, there was enough time that had elapsed between like, is this terrorist going to open the door and look down the elevator shaft? It's like, yeah, he will, but Colonel, he had plenty of time to get out. It wasn't like a nick of time.
This is like also unprecedented technology stuff. Like the thing when he loses his glasses in there.
Yes.
If a terrorist saw his glasses in there, the terrorist would not assume that like a team of, are they Marines? I forget which branch they're.
Yeah.
They're Army.
Yeah.
They're Army.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like boarded this plane from another plane and those are their glasses. Like they would just think that somebody else lost their glasses.
Yeah, some sort of technician or something, you know?
Like they would not leap to like, oh, there was, I mean, they might think that somebody was like trying to pull something, but they would not go to, oh, there's a team of Army like special agents like on this. I don't even feel like they use the space very well because there are good plane movies. There's the one with Jodie Foster that's like escaping my, where you're using the confines to further the story.
Yeah.
And I never felt the pressure of the space in this one, which you should absolutely have done, Like it never felt claustrophobic. They never felt that trapped, even though they're obviously trapped. Like I don't, I was thinking a lot about Panic Room when I was watching this, because that is another the tension in Panic Room is just so exquisitely crafted. It was the planting and payoff, like Eric was talking about, that really made me think of Panic Room, because I've always admired the way they never flat out tell you the daughter has diabetes.
Yeah. In
Panic Room. And almost any other movie would have had a scene earlier on where you wrote the note, this is going to be important later.
Exactly.
But they allude, like, she had the watch that checked her blood sugar. There was the fridge in her room with like insulin and water bottles and orange juice, but they never had a scene where it was like, oh no, don't let your blood sugar get too low, which is what this movie succumbs to like every single time.
Anytime it can, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
That is the most interesting part. As I'm like watching them navigate this plane, I'm like,
they have so much space.
I'm like, man, planes are spacious as fuck. What were they?
They have the run of the airplane.
Yeah, there's like
front to back.
Yeah, there's a whole, you're telling me there's a whole section above the plane, but below the fuselage, where they can just kind of zip line horizontally across the top of the plane? That's crazy. We should be putting bags up there, guys.
And like, maybe it's true, but it's not cinematic.
No,
yeah.
And that never,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they never actually, it was like nobody ever, they were like drilling their holes and doing all that, getting their cameras set up.
Obvious holes that go 3 inches above the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, and even the stuff where it's like, I think that, didn't they drill up through the floor and they just missed a guy's foot by like, whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, but again, you're never feeling like, oh boy, we really... like
that could have gone sideways.
Yeah,
no,
it was like they really haven't faced any adversities thus. I mean, obviously the plane,
the sleeve, breaking
that, but post that point, not much goes super wrong for them. Like it's like, oh, this bomb was a fake or whatever, and it's like, okay. We'll just figure out how to defuse the next
fake,
like,
Yeah, the bomb is a fake like twice.
Yes, again, they do everything multiple times for no reason.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So
yeah,
it's like Joe Morton. It's like, oh, Joe Morton died. No, wait, he's back. Oh, I think he died. No, he's back. Like again, it's great.
Yeah, Their radio dies. Like, there's a bunch of stuff, but it never feels like it's a problem.
Yeah, there are moments that are like, doing the Morse code with the taillights. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Some lines in this movie, like when they're about to cut the wire, he's like, if you screw up, you'll never know. Like, oh, that's a cool ass line, coming from like a guy who diffuses bombs as his profession, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My favorite quote is actually from Joe Morton.
Yeah.
And that is, I think we're looking up the ass end of a dead dog, is a thing he says.
Sure.
I mean, Joe Morton, despite dying multiple times and like being on a backboard for this entire movie, is one of the more engaging people in it. Like, I think he really, I just kept imagining the working conditions of coming to work every day and being like,
and then just being strapped to a board.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Joe Morton. We haven't spoken necessarily directly about Kurt. Other than, Lindsey, you'd mentioned the complete lack of Riz when he is dealt a character like this. Although they kind of want to have it both like, we see him like show up in a tux, and he's clearly like a very, like you look at him and be like, God, he's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's beautiful, and it doesn't it doesn't work that they're trying to have it both ways. Jack Ryan, I really think they were trying to have a Jack Ryan franchise situation happen.
Yeah.
And if you watch Hunt for Red October, what Alec Baldwin manages to pull off in that is what they were trying to get here, but didn't get anywhere close to.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He needs more like nervous energy.
Yeah.
He's way too cool for the guy he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He should those two characters. The two nerds should just have been, again, they've done double the work. Those two characters, you should have just merged their energies. So it should have been Kurt and Oliver Platt together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's the ideal for that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this is an analyst who's completely unqualified to be in the field at all, let alone on this kind of a mission. He's only there because Steven Seagal wants revenge. Like,
right.
And
Steven Seagal is hoping he dies.
Steven Seagal is hoping to get somebody killed, which karma at least gets Steven Seagal for that. But he is falls into their commando energy way too quickly and too easily for who he's supposed to be. I definitely agree that him and Oliver Platt's character should have been merged.
Yeah, they could have done. He should have been the guy who's messing everything up. And he he never really does. Like, remember, he has to go out on that little zip line thing, and I think the worst that happens is his foot slips, or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like,
but he doesn't even do a bad thing. He just almost.
Yeah, and that is the degree of tension that we are dealing with here. It's just whew, that was a close one.
Yeah, he doesn't earn that salute at the end because they never really, the rest of the team never really has a problem with him.
That's right, yeah.
The only problem they have is oh no, things have gone wrong. But he has all the answers.
Yeah.
There's no real reason that they don't respect him at all, except that their commanding officer didn't like him, and that guy died in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, at the end, you figure they have the conversation. They'd be like, Sarge was all right to bring this guy along. He was quite an asset, actually.
Well, they spent way too much time places they shouldn't, and they didn't spend enough time places they should, because if they really wanted us to feel the tension and the animosity with that team, they should have spent more time on the part where one of their buddies gets killed because, from their perspective, they were given bad information.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
If you wanted that to be resonant with the team, if you wanted to feel a tension and animosity there where he had to earn their respect, you should have emphasized that moment more. And either than Steven Seagal being willing to sacrifice the whole Eastern Seaboard to get vengeance on a guy who he doesn't like, that doesn't really come into play enough.
Real jerk
Also,
move.
they murder a bunch of people in that house where nothing was there in the first scene.
They were Chechen.
Yeah.
Right. They live in a
90s.
mansion. Clearly
Guilty.
they're bad guys.
I mean, that opening sequence where you think you're about to watch an action movie.
Yeah.
They rely on Seagal to sell that he's upset about this, and he doesn't change his face.
He can't. I don't think he's able to, is the thing.
He doesn't act at all. Mm-hmm. The only way you know he's upset is later he has that little one-on-one. And even that he plays I'm miffed at you. He doesn't play it as I want you to die.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He wants revenge.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree, though, that John Leguizamo can do anything, you know? I like that guy in everything he's been in. I'll even watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. You know what I'm saying? I liked him in that, even.
John Leguizamo, B.D. Wong, there's lots of people who I always find interesting in anything that they're in.
Fun fact, this is the movie where Steven Seagal slammed John Leguizamo against a wall.
Oh, I didn't know that he had. I have not heard this story.
Leguizamo loves telling this story.
I've heard that story, but I didn't know that it was this movie. It was this movie. I guess this is probably the only movie where they overlap, or maybe not, actually. That would be an interesting one to try to figure out.
Did he take another job with Steven Seagal after Steven Seagal?
After that? Yeah. I mean, we get it. Like, I imagine John Leguizamo in person can be a little much.
He's a little trickster. You know, he's a little trickster.
And then,
he's a goofy guy.
And then you've got, Seagal, who is a little much in the other direction.
Yeah.
So those two shouldn't have been in a room together, but.
Right. That's fire and water right there. All right. Do we have any other thoughts about executive decision? I feel like
I have lots of thoughts, but I feel like they are as part of the major plot points.
That's exciting.
So, yeah.
Okay. Then I do have one extra question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
She's got a thing for the silver screen. Watching movies on the TV, you know what I mean. But her heart stops beating when Kurt Russell's on the screen. She's all struck looking at him in tight jeans. Is he hot in this one? Is he cold as ice? Whitney's wondering, watching him with her eyes. Is he hot in this one? Is he divine? Whitney's caught in a trance. Kurt's so damn fine. Is he hot in this one? Is he hot in this one? Is he hot in this one?
That was the second new version of Is He Hot in This One, thanks to, I believe it's Mike and Alicia. Lindsey, you heard the previous version. That was sung by Alicia. This was Mike's turn. What do we think? What do we think?
These are both incredible. First of all, I was just in a club in Paris or something like that. Was very Euro club beat happening, which was great. Just so their lyric work in both versions has been incredible. I have to say, is he hot in this one? Is he cold as ice?
Uh-huh.
I love that. Whitney's looking at him with her eyes.
Sure.
This is great.
Don't forget his jeans.
His jeans, in the tight jeans. There are geniuses. What can I say? I want a whole, now this is music of Is He Hot in This One remixes, please. Because I could listen to these all day.
Mike, Alicia, Lindsey has made the request.
You do not have to do that, but if you did, I would buy it from you.
Yeah, all I'll say
but
is,
you are under zero obligation. The two you have gifted us with are just, chef's kiss.
Yeah. We will literally never play the one that I made. Ever. I might delete it. Like, I will just get rid of the original files altogether. Because there's no way that I would ever play that over these. Either one. But if you want to send more, not that you have to, but if you want, every time you send one, it will be the new theme song.
Feel very free, but do not feel obligated like that.
Go nuts.
Thanks for listening and being real ones. That's crazy.
Yeah. These are amazing. I love them.
I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but we're talking about I think they're roughly the same length, like between 45 and 60 seconds in length.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it takes someone to conceptualize. I don't write music, so I have no concept of what it would take to put something like this together and write lyrics that work and flow. So whatever amount of time you put into that, I feel like it should be billable hours for me. So maybe you let me know. I don't know. We'll see. What can we do for you? I'll send you one of those super soft shirts. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Brought it back. And a very mediocre coffee mug as well. So.
And those shitty stickers, apparently. Jesus,
they're
Andrew,
okay.
You gotta work on your salesmanship.
They're okay stickers. The shirts are the selling point. Everything else is just fine.
So, to answer the question posed by that fabulous song.
Amazing, yes.
Not really. Because of the aforementioned, he thinks that nerds have no charisma, and he dampens something inside of himself whenever he has to play one.
That's interesting.
Does he look very nice in that tuxedo? Yes.
Yeah.
Is his picking up that woman too, first of all, hockey tickets? But second of all, too easy and slick for what is supposed to be the rest of his character? Also, yes. But I did not find him very attractive in this movie.
Interesting. Okay. Eric, what do we got? What do we got?
I think I agree. I think he is physically very handsome in this film. I prefer my Kurt with a little shorter hair. I'm not a big mullet Kurt guy. So he's toned it down. He doesn't have short hair by any stretch. I don't think he'd ever let them do that except for like Soldier.
Yeah.
But I think he looks very handsome. They have contrived to keep him in a tuxedo for most of this movie. Like even when he like comes off of an airplane into another airplane, like his bow tie is still on.
I was going to say, I also clocked how long his tie was on.
Yeah. Like he doesn't take that off until he realizes like, oh, we're in the shit now. And he has a really sexy, like taking his tie off moment.
That was sexy.
I'm fascinated. The contrivance to get him in the tux means he's at a like broad daylight back tie cocktail party, which is confusing.
Yes.
I don't know where that's supposed to be, or
wasn't it some kind of like gala?
Yeah, but like at noon, or I don't know.
It was dark outside.
It was not dark outside.
It was not dark outside.
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of
later when he's in the
I'll
tuxedo.
trust you.
Like it's not a big deal. Like you can have a gala in the daytime.
Sure,
it just struck me as weird with the way the rest of the movie kind of hangs together.
Sure.
Yeah.
He and Halle Berry have no sexual chemistry,
right?
Which they try to sort of establish in the last 5 minutes, which doesn't make any sense.
That's really thrown in there. Yeah, no, I do not think they do either.
Really do not need them to get together. It is a weird choice.
Sure.
The hockey tickets thing I kind of like. I just think it's a weird quirk that like he's trying to pick up a woman with hockey tickets. I wish they would have given him more of a backstory and like something.
Yeah.
Like hockey feels like a very specific choice that does not feel like it jives with the rest of his character. So that's why it pinged for me. Not that like hockey is inherently like a bad sport to try and
No. But like it doesn't pay off.
Yeah.
He doesn't reference hockey ever again.
Right. It just feels so random.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I think he is, as always, physically attractive, but the character is very bland.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, Halle Berry has more chemistry with the terrorist than she has with Kurt Russell in this movie.
Right. You're like, oh, something going on between these two? What's happening? We're spending all this time above and below the plane.
Andrew, do you think he's hot in this one?
So yes and no. but there's a very clear delineation between no and yes. I should actually have put it no and yes. When he's fully out of tux and the glasses are off and the hoodie is on, yes. But everything before that one, not so much. I didn't dig those glasses on him. I know that that's like the trope where like we gotta like ugly this dude up, so just toss him,
nerd him up.
Yeah, just toss the glasses on. What a dweeb, you know? I mean, obviously he looked good in the tux, and when the juxtaposition between him and the tux and Steven Seagal in like full tack gear was very, very funny. I was like, that's great. That's great. But basically that whole sequence of him landing the plane, he's in the cockpit, it's like the hoodie, he's like more cash. I'm like, I like this guy. He's cool. So yes for that part, but no for the rest of the movie. We're talking about like the last 15 minutes, I guess.
Sure.
When he tries to land the plane twice, as we have talked about. So yeah, that's where I'll say that. A majority of the movie, no. But he redeems himself for me.
I didn't care for the hoodie, but I get it. I think maybe it was also like he slicks his hair back.
Yeah, his hair gets very wet.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Was it supposed to be perspiration, or I mean, that's like that's a problem though. That's like that level of perspiration to make your hair that wet, not good. You should see a doctor.
I have, Andrew, and they can't do anything for me.
Damn it! I don't know, maybe some talcum powder. I don't know what we're gonna do, but you know, whatever. He seemed like more of a mess And I'm like, maybe that's my type, more of like a mess. I don't know. So
I think he'd also loosened up a little, like the character-wise by that point too. So
that's also very true. Yeah. By the time he gets to on the plane proper, like in the plane, you're like, all right, it's a different guy now. He's seen some shit, I guess. I don't know. So
he's at least smiling more.
Yes. Yeah. Potential. Yeah. Okay. I'd buy it.
Kurt Russell has a great smile.
He does.
Like you can't not let the man smile.
The aforementioned dimples, like one of his best characteristics.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, he can still be sexy and not smiling, like when he's Snake Plissken, but there's something about when he has to play like a nerdy guy. I don't know.
I wonder how many more nerds we're going to deal with in the Kurt Russell oeuvre. I don't know. Can you think of any other ones off the top of his head?
I do think we're fully entering like cowboy season and no more like nerds.
After this movie, he's like, well, that's clearly not working for me. I'm just going to stick to what I know.
I think he's a little nerdy in Vanilla Sky, but that's kind of a weird outlier.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I do like that. Well, I have a remembrance of liking that movie. I don't know if it's any good anymore, but I was like also very into.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are we ready to go through the plot of this movie?
I think so.
Eric, it sounds like you have some notes. I'm going to start reading from the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
You just call it when something strikes you, just call it out. You could fully dive in. All right.
Andrew, I have so many notes.
I'm ready. If we had to stop every sentence here, that's okay. Because that's basically the equivalent of what this movie does. So listening to the podcast would be the equivalent of watching the film if we do that.
Fair. Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Here we go. In May of 1995, Lieutenant Colonel Austin Travis leads an unsuccessful Special Forces Black Ops raid on a Chechen mafia safe house in Trieste, Italy, to recover a stolen Soviet nerve agent that they're calling DZ-5. 3 months later, Oceanic Airlines Flight 343, a Boeing 747-200, that's a stupid amount of detail, leaves Athens.
Very specific.
Why? I get to establish how big the fucking thing is. I don't know.
Airplane nerds are like a very special kind of nerd.
It's important. Leaves Athens bound for Washington, D.C. with 400 passengers aboard, including Nagi Hassan, lieutenant of the...
Until it crashes on Lost Island.
Yes.
Sorry.
Lieutenant of the...
I didn't know there was more to the sentence or I wouldn't have cut you.
No, that's okay. Lieutenant of the imprisoned terrorist leader El Sayed Jaffa. Hassan and his men hijack the flight, demanding Jaffa's release. Meanwhile, just moments before the hijacking, a suicide bomber working for Jaffa destroys a London Marriott hotel restaurant.
Can we pause for a second?
We have to, because there's too much already going on here, but somehow so slowly.
So according to the plot, we later learn that Allied forces have this terrorist, Al-Hafa, whatever his name is. I will be referring to him as the one-armed man from The Fugitive, because that is who he is.
Yeah, smart.
Okay, so first of all, that whole thing plays in flashback, which is wild.
Yeah.
In like weird black and white slow motion. It feels like a sequence they wanted to put in the movie, and somebody was like, this movie's already way too long. But we, meaning the U.S., sorry, international listeners, have him in custody. And then they say that the terrorist on the airplane somehow orchestrated this. But they don't explain any of that. So I'm very unclear what is going on there. And then the suicide bomber walks into a restaurant and blows it up. And it is later revealed that the only motivation for that is to, I guess, prove that they're serious? That, like, this terrorist organization means business? But I feel like hijacking a plane would convey that information.
Yeah.
And you've already cut, like, 5 minutes out of this movie.
Easily.
Like, does that make sense? Did anyone else find that just completely superfluous?
Yeah. No, again, this is one of the things where I feel like 4 movies went into the fly machine, because this movie has like 3 openings and I don't feel like they go together or build on each other. They feel very superfluous.
All right. Yeah, it was just weird to me.
Spend too much time on the ground. That's it. As soon as the plane takes off, we should be mostly in the air. Everything else I don't give a shit about. But yes.
Well, and I will say, like, so because this movie is so long, I may have like checked time code regularly. And like the terrorists take the plane in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Then we should.
It just feels longer.
Yeah.
Somehow. Like they table set fairly quickly and they're like, here are all the people, right? But like it feels like it's a good 30 minutes before any of that happens.
Yeah.
That's the same phenomenon that people experience when they're like, Steven Seagal dies in the first 15 minutes. It's like, no, it just relative to how long everything, it's like a feeling more than anything else. It's like, no, it's 40, as Lindsey said. So real weird.
You just feel like by the time the story gets going, he dies right away. And it's like, yeah, no, that's 40 minutes in.
Yeah, it takes too long.
I do also want to point out that as we're introducing all of our characters, we do meet, I don't know if she's ever named, but one of the flight attendants is Donald Trump's wife, Marla Maples. Or she was Trump's wife at the time. And I don't know why she's in this movie.
Was she the one that dies?
No.
Okay.
No, that's a real actress. Sorry.
Sick burn.
No, I think it's okay to call Marla Maples not a... But, I mean, I don't know. Did he own the plane? Because he always made people give him cameos in movies when they wanted to film on properties he owned. But.
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah. I don't know. Apparently she was credited as Nancy. And she was in the movie as Marla Maples Trump. She took his name.
Wow.
Anyway, I thought that was just a fun fact, not germane to anything.
Hey, no, that's good because here's you're filling in blanks where Charles would have really schooled us. Well, not us. Obviously, you would have had that information, but I would have been like,
I would not have. Yeah.
Yeah. I did not watch the credits. I did not want to sit for longer than the movie had already made me.
I don't know what this says about me. I recognized her without the credits. I was like, is that Marla Maples?
That's bananas.
But I'm old.
I mean, I am also old. You just have better memory for faces than...
Fair enough.
That's true. All right. Hey, look, all right. It's good to know. Regardless, it's good to know. The cast is stacked, as we've said. Marla Maples is here even. All right.
Right?
Dr. David Grant, the U.S. Army intelligence consultant behind the botched raid, the one that we talked about with Steven Seagal just a moment ago, is summoned to a meeting at the Pentagon to plan an operation to retake the plane. Grant doubts Hassan's demands, suspecting that he engineered Jaffa's capture, and intends to use the 747 to detonate a bomb loaded with DZ-5 in U.S. airspace. The Pentagon authorizes a mid-air insertion of Travis Special Operations Team onto the hijacked airliner using the experimental Remora F-117X aircraft. Grant and DARPA engineer Dennis Cahill reluctantly join the mission.
This planning scene features one of my favorite action movie tropes.
Sure.
Which is where someone tells you exactly how deadly something is by telling you how many people a single drop can kill.
Yes, but again, this scene usually has way more tension in it.
Yeah.
Like, I was not... Again, for the same scene that happens in The Rock, much more tense than this scene with his pen in the glass of water.
The guy in The Rock is really selling it for sure.
Yeah.
Also, in The Rock, that nerve agent can kill a lot more people. Like, they basically say, like, one drop of this nerve agent would kill everyone in this room. And I'm like, well, there's only, like, 7 people in that room, sir.
So that's, that's okay.
That doesn't seem particularly virulent, but yeah. One of my favorite tropes.
The marble would take out all of San Francisco or whatever. Like,
exactly.
like, oh, no, that's serious business. So.
It is a trope that I do enjoy, though. It's like the ripping the sink off trope. This is how dangerous this thing is.
Amazing.
In The Rock, it is... one drop of this shit detonated in the... 1 teaspoon of this shit detonated in the atmosphere would kill every living thing within a 5-block radius. I think that's The Rock.
That's huge. Yeah. That sounds great.
I've watched that movie too many times.
Michael Bay fan,
I have
Erich.
A weird thing for Michael Bay.
In the 90s, Michael Bay at peak power was unstoppable. I'll go ahead and put that out there.
That is the phase of Michael Bay movies that I still enjoy.
Yeah. That whole run right there, right in the Bad Boys, The Rock, crushing it. But this isn't The Rock. This is...
No, it's not.
It wants to be, but it doesn't have the courage of its convictions.
That's true.
Also, I mean, part of the problem is that this movie can't decide what it wants to be. Because sometimes it wants to be The Rock, and sometimes it wants to be Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to be those two movies at the same time. Because one takes itself very seriously, and the other does not at all.
Yeah.
100%.
One takes itself very seriously, and the other is Clear and Present Danger. No, I'm just kidding. The Remora intercepts and docks with the airliner. I thought this was pretty cool. Just as a sequence, I was like, I like the look of this plane.
This is the one set piece.
It's the only tension in the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the one set piece that I actually felt like they got tension out of, and like.
Yeah, they got
their little suckerfish airplane. They have to like sneak up on the jet and like get in there.
It's cool. They had the whatever the I can't remember the word they used for the like the draft that was like the plane was like causing all the extra turbulence for them. I was like, this is all very like I like this part. Like somebody really went deep. Probably the same person who put all like what specific plane model. That's the same person in the 90s who did this section of the movie here.
This is where they have the dumbest like contrivance to get everybody on the plane because there is a sensor that like needs to be covered so that the people on the plane won't know they're getting on the plane. And to Lindsay's point, no one would think that.
Yeah, that's the issue, right?
If this little sensor went off, people would be like, "Oh, I think it's broken." But but in order to do that, like he could have just handed it to Oliver Platt. It is not a technical thing. It's literally like a Lego that you plug into another Lego. But
I clipped it as I was climbing the ladder.
Seagal doesn't trust Oliver Platt to know how to work Legos, even though he designed this, suckerfish airplane
thing that you're using. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. Damn it, Seagal. Grant Cahill and team members Cappy, Baker, Louie, and Rat successfully board, but Cappy is injured after a fall. Severe turbulence strains the docking tunnel. Travis sacrifices himself by closing the 747's hatch before it decompresses. The Remora is destroyed, along with the team's communications equipment, leaving the Pentagon unaware of their survival. They conduct a covert search for the bomb, hoping to neutralize it and storm the cabin. Grant accidentally reveals his presence to flight attendant Jean, but successfully recruits her to assist in their search, despite Hassan's suspicions. I would not have been as cool as Halle Berry seeing a man in like that little elevator type situation. I would have been like, what the fuck is going on?
In the midst of an already very stressful day.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, now I have to deal with people in the elevator as well. The food elevator, whatever the thing is.
And the person that recapped this movie just left out a ton of little details.
Yeah.
Which the movie should have also done. But like...
Well, again, the whole passenger manifest thing and the air marshal, like that was superfluous stuff that, I mean, I guess it was to demonstrate Halle Berry already actively trying to work against the terrorists before she knows that there's anybody else on the plane.
Yeah.
But like, again, stuff that just should have been edited. 100%. The air marshal adds nothing to this movie.
There's the whole plot where the co-pilot comes down to like check out the problem and realizes that there's a team on board, but that amounts to nothing.
Nothing
the co-pilot
happens
does
with that.
Absolutely nothing to help them. He just sweats more.
Yeah. He's like, oh boy. Oh boy.
I mean, at least in the senator's subplot that, he a little bit at least, to demonstrate the bad guy's willingness to, his plans that nobody's going to make it out alive anyways. So
that does pay off. Yes, 100%. And it's a Die Hard movie. You have to have an Ellis. So he is the Ellis of this movie.
They're like, JT Walsh would be great at this. Absolutely great at that role. And he is. in fairness, he is. The team locates the bomb, and Cappy, despite his injuries, guides Cahill into disarming it until they discover its arming device has an additional remote-controlled trigger, Jaffa, Haffa, whatever, released by U.S. officials in an attempt to resolve the situation, calls Hassan from a private jet to tell him he's on his way to Algeria, but Hassan abruptly ends the call. Grant and the others realize Hassan's men are unaware of the bomb and Hassan's true intentions after he kills one of them for rebuking him. He also inadvertently reveals that one of the passengers is a sleeper agent and a trigger man for the bomb. I wonder who it could be, Eric. Who could be the trigger man?
Except that a better written movie, never mind, we'll get to it.
The Pentagon dispatches U.S. Navy F-14 Tomcats to shoot down the 747, prompting Hassan to execute passenger U.S. Senator Jason Mavros as a warning.
I'm sorry, you missed the title line, Andrew.
I was just going to say that I was going to interject as well. We get the title drop in the movie. We get this is now an executive decision, which, by the way that they say it, was the president unaware previous to this? Because that seems like a bad...
Yeah.
Also, where is the president? The movie is called Executive Decision, and you never see the president.
The president is in Europe. They do say that at one point.
Yeah.
Sure.
Currently. But
they don't have movie cameras in Europe?
Yes. Have you not looped him in before this? Because the vibe of this is an executive decision now means that you have not been communicating with the president, which just feels like a bad move. I
don't know, guys. If only there was someone here who could make a decision about this,
If only there was an executive who had been elected to make these kind of choices.
Yeah, the tough ones, the tough choices.
Also, I just want to share this because I thought I was really clever. The president has executive decided that they're going to have to shoot the plane down. I'm so clever when I'm watching movies.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. Anyway.
But once again, I am actually very sort of fond of a name drop in a movie, but I do not think this one packed the punch that, that
No, for sure.
Anytime they do it, I just think of Arrested Development, where, they say Arrested Development and then Ron Howard as the narrator's like, hey, and he just that's the entirety of his line. It's great. So we have these F-14s trailing back behind the plane, ready to shoot it down. Baker uses Morse code via the 747's taillights to signal the fighters that the team made it aboard, requesting an extra 10 minutes to neutralize the bomb and retake the 747. Very ambitious to do this in 10 minutes, considering there's much of the movie left.
Yeah, I have noticed that being a problem in Kurt Russell movies, because this was a Stargate problem too, that there's a bomb with a timer set for 6 minutes, and then 27 minutes of things happen in that 6 minutes.
Sure. I completely understand that all these things may be happening in parallel, but even if that is the case,
it's still longer than 10 minutes.
It's not 10 minutes. I'm sorry. It just can't happen. Gene spots a man with an electronic device on the plane and informs Grant, who enters the passenger cabin, to take the suspected individual by surprise, only to find that he is merely a diamond thief. Bait and switch right there.
What are the odds?
Dumbest bait and switch ever. It would have been fine if he was just cheating on his wife or something, but diamonds fall out of his PDA. You're like, what just happened?
You also have a diamond thief on this plane.
What? Yes. This is the most eventful flight ever.
I also want to point out that the woman sitting next to him is another character actress.
Yeah.
Who's been in everything. My favorite role of hers was she was one of the wrong Sarah Connors that the Terminator kills before he gets to Linda Hamilton.
That's crazy.
She's been in everything. I'm like, this woman has 2 lines, and you cast this person with a long ass resume. Anyway,
completely wasted her. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway, he's not the guy.
He's not the guy. He's just a simple diamond thief. There's one on basically every plane you've ever flown on.
Yeah, just a humble, average, everyday run-of-the-mill diamond thief.
And if you don't know who the diamond thief is, it's you.
Amazing. Grant spots the real sleeper. What do we say? Demau? I can't remember how they pronounce this in the movie. I don't even know if they actually named the guy, but we have his name.
No, they
here.
do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And fights him for the detonator. Hassan attempts to shoot Grant, but is himself shot by an onboard air marshal. Okay. Air marshal payoff, I guess.
Yeah. Sure.
We give this movie nothing.
They had plenty of footage. They could have cut that whole thing out and just cut to a different guy shooting and then showed Hassan.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's true.
You don't need that. Yeah.
The commandos storm the cabin as a firefight ensues, and Grant struggles to wrestle the detonator from Demau's grip while Baker and Rat gun down several terrorists. I thought this was pretty cool. The coordination of the team and everything. It all went wrong and they just had to improvise. I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind that. Louis assists Grant by fatally shooting the triggerman, and eliminating the remaining terrorists. Triggerman, however, manages to arm the bomb just before dying, unfortunately, and stray bullets from a terrorist's weapon pierce a window, causing explosive decompression.
Yay! It's another one of my favorite tropes. I was like, this movie is like 80 minutes in and nothing's exploded yet.
Right, what the heck?
Somebody has to get sucked out of this goddamn airplane.
These are the rules. We've been doing this forever.
Come on.
The bomb is disarmed just in time by Cappy and Cahill as the 747 stabilizes. Hassan kills the pilots and damages the controls, however, before being shot and killed by Rat.
But this movie is 2 hours long, and you've forgotten that Kurt Russell was learning to fly.
Yes. Remember the first 3 minutes of the movie. Despite his limited flying experience and poor flying technique, wow, Grant takes control of 747.
Here's the thing, right?
Okay.
He doesn't have poor flying technique.
He did land the plane, didn't he? Did he not?
His instructor is like, you're great. Just go solo.
Yeah.
Like when he lands the plane, it would have been more dramatic if like his instructor had to land the plane.
Yeah.
But he lands the plane just fine at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
Like they don't even set up that like he's never landed or he broke the plane when he landed. Anything like that. It's like, you've done a good job, just go solo, and he doesn't get to solo.
Again, this is another like you were trying to start a plot thread that you did not follow up on, like a lot of this, in that his problem was he needed to get out of his own way. But you didn't actually, as much as this movie loves to set stuff up, it did not actually set it, like started to and then got distracted.
Yeah.
So there's no emotional arc or growth where he has now found something that allows him to get out of his own way or anything like that would make that part make sense and be worth the time you spent on it.
There's no tension here. We've already seen him land an airplane.
Yeah, they know he can do it.
Find the flight manual very quickly. She flips directly to the pages for like, here are the settings
for landing.
Apparently you just set it and forget it. He forgets the landing gear both times, which seems unlikely.
Yep.
But like, there's absolutely, I mean, the only tense part is like, he runs out of runway the second time, but he's already on the ground.
The whole nonchalance that should not be at all nonchalant of like, well, we have to take it again. We have to do like a second pass.
Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, no, I missed it. So I'm going to fly the plane.
We're going to do it
Everything's
again.
fine.
Like, we've got all the time in the world. There's nothing happening.
Wait, over there is my home runway.
What
We're
luck.
already lined up.
What luck.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like, it's not like was there a fuel concern?
No.
Yeah, that's also right. So I'm making that up. I was trying to give the movie more than it.
Other movies that have done things like you are running out of fuel.
Right. If you miss and you're running out of fuel, this is a problem.
The only concern that they mention is that the bomb might go off if they crash. That was it.
Oh, okay. There is that. Okay. All right. So it's coming in. All right. So that was coming in too hot, and then he had to.
Yeah.
He missed Dulles. Spoilers. No, not spoilers. We're talking through it. He's flying the 747. He misses Dulles. He's like, okay, but he recognizes the area from the air, I guess.
Yeah.
And he sees.
There's my baseball field.
Yeah. He sees. I know it's the Jurassic Park. This is a Unix system. I know this.
Exactly.
Frederick Field. He sees Frederick Field, which is, as Eric said, his home. He's like, oh, that's where I landed earlier, almost perfectly. And as I understand it, it's probably not equipped to land a 747 in terms of runway length and all that. But he's like, hey, whatever, I'm going to do it. With Gene's assistance, they successfully land. Passengers are safely evacuated. The bomb does not go off. Grant is then saluted by Baker, Louie, Rat, and Cappy for his leadership before being summoned to the Pentagon. The end. He did it. Our hero.
No, you missed it. He takes Halle Berry with him to the Pentagon because he's got hockey
That's
tickets.
right. She's a huge hockey fan.
She's not. She likes baseball.
That's right. I did not remember that part. I'm sorry.
Also, to put a bow on the diehardness of it all, it ends with like an American standard like Frank Sinatra song playing as we slowly pull away and the camera shifts into Panavision in the wreckage of the disaster.
Yeah.
Exactly like the end of Die Hard.
Yeah. Die Hard's a great movie.
They didn't even pretend. They were like, we're just going to lift this completely from the credits of Die Hard.
Great artists steal. I've heard that, Here's the thing. When we started with our initial thoughts of this film, I felt like we were at one level. And as we had to step through this plot, we are now at a different, potentially lower level. So I'm going to ask, Lindsey, let's start with you. Do you recommend this film?
No.
Okay.
I'd recommend one of the 7 films it's trying to be and can't make up its mind about.
Okay. Any other movie that we named during the course of this review
are a better version of at least one part of this movie.
Got it. Okay. Erich, would you recommend this movie?
Probably not.
Okay.
It is just way too long and slow.
Yeah.
I would love to see this movie remade. Well, no, we've seen this movie remade, but there is a cut of this movie that's good.
Yeah.
But no, can't recommend it.
What about you, Andrew?
We're going, it's a straight flush here. No recommends across this one for me. So I agree with you. I was like, there are many other movies that this one pulls from. I almost did a double feature and then just watched Air Force One after this one. Mm-hmm. And I still not having seen Air Force One in a number of years, I could 100% say that that's like a way better movie that probably does all of the things that we're asking this one to do.
Yeah. I did not do it either because I didn't have the time, but I also had the urge to rewatch Air Force One when I finished this movie.
Harrison Ford, let's go. He's up. He's up there. He's up there with Kurt for me.
Definitely a better movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So no, that's not going to be a recommend for me. The more interesting part, though, is where we're going to put this in our Kurt Russell movie rankings. I am going to start with Erich on this one. Do you want me to read your top 5 so far, or do you have it in front of you?
Sure, if you'd like. No, I have it in front of me.
All right.
So right now, my top 5 are The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York. Everyone knows I'm a John Carpenter head. Mm-hmm. Tombstone and Overboard.
Okay.
Those are my top 5.
Sure.
Executive Decision is not getting anywhere near that.
Damn it.
In fact, it is below Captain Ron for me.
Oh, okay.
I have a little bit of a soft spot for Captain Ron, but Captain Ron is still in my bottom 3.
Yeah.
So I put it to full transparency.
This is wild to me, what you're about to say. This is... Okay.
So full transparency. I haven't watched every movie that the podcast has covered.
Sure.
I have rated the ones that I am familiar with. I did put Executive Decision above Backdraft.
What is happening?
I hate the movie Backdraft. What? I don't know why. I can't fully put my finger on it. It needs a rewatch to really figure out what I dislike so much.
Okay.
But yeah, it was it's at the bottom of my list. But
all right,
still better than Backdraft.
Put it on the box. Executive Decision.
Suck it,
still
Ron
better
Howard.
than Backdraft. Okay. All right.
Well, this is funny because I am putting it directly under Backdraft.
Okay. All right. That's great.
There you go. See?
Okay.
So for me, this goes between Backdraft and Overboard, and it's going to be my new number 8 on the list.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yes. Eric and I's list up top, very similar. We both are top 3 Carpenter and the same movies, but I have The Thing, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China. So Escape from New York and Big Trouble are switched for Eric and I, but our top 3 is very similar.
I mean, they are interchangeable. And honestly, our middle 3, I don't care for Silkwood, but I could move Stargate up. I could, move Overboard around. I still, like I said, have a soft spot for Overboard, even though it doesn't really hold up.
I get it.
Contemporarily.
I understand why you would have some nostalgia.
For sure. And it was 100% a movie I watched like a lot as a kid. It was on HBO like all the time.
Yes, it was one of those TV movies that was just, we all saw dozens of times. So
we're moving into more of my Kurt Russell era with things like Escape from LA and Soldier and like bad Kurt Russell movies that I just love for some reason. So
his 90s era is what many people refer to when they think of Kurt Russell. Yeah. Even this movie, actually, quite a bit of the reviews that I read were like, this run of Kurt Russell movies, including this one, for some reason. Great.
No. So where are you putting it on your list, Andrew?
Number 15, right under the strongest man in the world.
Really? All right.
I don't... so here's... Just above executive decision for me is the strongest man in the world, which I thought was a very fun... that's childhood Kurt Russell type stuff, right? Not childhood, but like, teen Kurt Russell. Sure. And then Fool's Parade and Unlawful Entry, and then Captain Ron. Here's what I will legitimately say. Like, once we get past number 9, which is used cars for me, and nobody agrees with me about that one, and I'm okay going to bat for used cars. Everything below here doesn't matter really to me. I'll go ahead and say it. I enjoyed my time watching them, but I'm not going to ever rewatch anything outside of here, really.
That's fair.
We could rearrange this entire post 10 for me list in a number of different ways.
And it wouldn't be anything, no seismic changes. Those are all kind of in a zone of I'm not interested for you. Is what you're saying.
For sure.
If anything, I would put The Fox and the Hound lower. I would put it even lower because I've only no, I am not the monster. That is not a good movie. I've actively told people I feel like I've ruined people's childhood. I'm like, you do not go back and rewatch that one. You will not like what you hear in The Fox and the Hound. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah. We
did it. We got through another episode.
What's up?
Next week, I think, I don't assume. I think Eric wants to be on for next week.
I do want to talk about Escape from LA.
Here's what I also want to do. I don't want to say next week. I want to say next episode because, we want to I want to set very realistic expectations. So let's just call it next episode. That's Escape from LA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't believe I've seen this movie. It's hard for me to remember. I had seen Escape from New York a bunch when I was a kid, but I don't have a clear memory of Escape from LA. But maybe when I see it, it'll like jog something for me. Lindsey, have you seen this movie?
I have not, because I don't know if you remember, I hadn't seen Escape from New York, and that was one that Whitney and Dan and so were very hype about me seeing because they thought that I would like it, which I did. It's in my top 3. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed Escape from New York. I have seen like one clip that involves Tina Turner from Escape from LA, but otherwise I have not seen it. So
I'll clarify a few things.
Okay.
It was probably Pam Grier. I don't think Tina Turner is in this movie.
Oh, is she not? I thought I saw this one. I thought Tina Turner was in this movie.
You heard me go, what? Right? Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I trust your knowledge of this movie much more than a vague memory of seeing a little bit of it when I was like a child. So
Tina Turner is in Thunderdome, so maybe you're like, they're both sort of post-apocalyptic. Sure.
Yeah, there's like a leather and metal aesthetic that's similar. But I do remember
vibes.
Kurt Russell exiting out a tunnel with a machine gun and stuff. So I could be mushing 2 clips together in my brain.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay. And then my other point is everyone needs to temper their expectations.
Sure.
This is a clear case of diminishing returns.
But it is still John Carpenter.
It is still John Carpenter.
Okay.
It is the movie I think he wanted to make. Like, I don't think there was like any studio interference or anything like that. But there are diminishing returns. Now, Lindsey, you might have fun because it does make fun of LA a lot.
Yeah, I'll probably enjoy that aspect of it.
Since you have that West Coast perspective, there are probably jokes like I haven't even picked up on. But like everyone came out for it. Everyone, loved Escape from New York. So he had no trouble getting like some fun talent. I can't wait to see what you guys think.
I would love for like a modern escape from, like what George Miller did with Mad Max.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But
there was some talk about it over the years. There was some talk that maybe Ghosts of Mars was going to be an escape movie. There was a long rumored like Escape from Earth, but I think Carpenter's kind of put all that away.
Yeah, he's like, just want to play.
He's
video
like, I'm
games.
just gonna play video games. Exactly.
I love that about him. He's like, I'm just gonna play Fallout or whatever. I'm like, I love this dude.
As much as I enjoy Carpenter's movies and would rush out to see something new he did, I do really respect the position he's in right now. Like, look, I worked really hard. Nobody wants to let me make a movie anymore. People only like my movies 10 years after they were released. And like,
totally. Yeah.
I'm just going to make music and play video games and I'm fine. And I'm like, yeah.
For sure.
The life.
You go do that, John Carpenter.
Yeah.
The absolute life.
I'm still holding out that somebody offers him Dead Space because I think he would come back to make a video game movie.
Yeah.
It's right up his alley.
That would be perfect. I could not think of a person I would want doing that more than John Carpenter. Full stop.
So anyway, we said all that to say, yes, I would love to come back for Escape from LA.
Amazing. And Lindsey, having not seen it, and also me probably not having seen it, that would be a hilarious episode, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Good, clean fun. That brings us to the end. What an adventure we've had recording this podcast from a technical point of view. You'll never know, listener. You'll never know.
But there's been some problems.
If this sounded seamless, it's only through the might of having to sit behind the editing program and make that a reality. But Lindsey, in the meantime, before next episode, where can people find and keep up with you on the internet?
These days, mostly Instagram.
Yeah.
Because obviously I still technically have a Twitter, but I don't go there. Lindsey Cameron Nelson on Instagram. And you can see an Assassin's Creed dinner that I just recently did with Ubisoft. So
Super amazing. I was like, this is so hype. And yeah, I was just like very happy for you to see that. Your sister kind of shadow dropped not actually, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, I'll let Lindsey say what it is. And I'm like, when will she say what it is?
Well, it was funny because I was not sure whether I was allowed to talk about it or not, but they didn't say that I wasn't. So like,
Perfect. Well, it was awesome. Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Erich, where can people find and keep up with you? We know the Pinterest. You don't have to say that one.
I am still using Twitter.
Sure.
I ride or die since 2008. I'm going to watch it burn to the ground. So you can find me there and everywhere else as Platypus Jones, all one word.
Amazing.
And I do not make fancy, cool dinners. So I don't have anything neat to plug.
That's okay. You're here. You plug Erich, the brand Erich, not evil Erich, as was potentially discussed in the Discord for a little bit. He's got a mustache, I think. Or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guys, come to the Discord.
Yeah,
yes,
do that.
You can find us all in the Discord.
That's
the
where you can.
12 and 24 Discord is actually active.
Yeah,
has like no trolling. Everybody's like super chill and fun.
Mm-hmm. You can talk to the Claire of Claire's
the
mom.
Actual Claire.
She's very involved on the Discord.
Yeah,
she is.
She's
Lane
always.
Train. You remember Lane Train?
Lane Train. Lane Train has one thing that he says on the Discord, and I love him for it. When's the next episode? He keeps me honest. I'm like, shit, when is the next episode?
Lane Train, you're the reason we stopped saying next week.
I have to.
Because we didn't want to give you false hope.
I know.
Exactly.
I feel bad. Don't get it twisted. It's like, man, how did we do it for Cool Breeze? I'm like, how did I do that? I still to this day really don't know but That's neither here nor there.
I feel like that about historical hotties sometimes. For the 2 years, we kept up a very regular schedule.
That's it. I was like, I felt like I had the same amount or more work then that I do now. And I was able to do the podcast every week. What happened? What happened to me? Falling apart. That's what happened. You can find me places on the internet, but don't bother. Just go on the Discord. I almost feel like people are like, what's your Instagram? I'll follow you on Instagram. I feel like I'm like, and I'm like, well, my last post was like in 2022 or something ridiculous like that. I was like, it's probably not a great follow, so don't even bother. But come on the Discord. It'll be awesome. Do that. That's it. We did it. We're done. We're through. I just want to say thank you all for joining us. And in the immortal words of Jack Burton, sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning.